Hey Dominic, let's take a look at your, I see you uploaded some revisions here, so let's take a look at those first, and then go into the heavy and light ball. So yeah, this looks great. I love that the weight that you're distributing on the character itself. To answer your question that you had in your email about like what's the most important thing in terms of like weight versus balance and everything. And again, that's something I want you to ask in the Q&A. But just for right now, it really is a matter of story. Like what you're trying to communicate to the audience, that's the most important thing. And here, you communicated it really well. Now, the thing is with the original version of this pose that you did, the point I was trying to make through email that didn't come across very clearly is that the head you tend to lose a lot of perspective if you bring that head forward, and so it starts to kind of overlap everything, and it also starts to make things that may like the balance of the character, like just like saying like that head is towards the camera and the rest of the body is away from the camera, it'll start to make it look like there's just like a really weird warped proportion. And so that's what's happening here with this profile. Now everything is very balanced, and it works really well. I mean, this pose is great. It just has like a really nice sense of that what the audience needs to see, and it also makes sense for the character, or for the just for the composition itself. And I think everything is working really well. So that's really good. Now, you did ask about like if this character is really exhausted, what would we do? And I think there's still room to maybe make the legs like out here, and we could get something like that with the legs. But again, that sort of composition will help a lot more with what you're trying to say and what you're saying to the audience, versus like if one thing was just like just being hidden a little, like if this leg was being hidden behind the rest of the body and we didn't see it, it would be more ambiguous to the audience and we wouldn't really know. But for this, we could do something like that, maybe get a little bit more exhaustion out of the character, and that will work. But this composition is great. This works really well. So good job. And then again, hopefully I can answer these questions in the Q&A a little bit more, and this is something that we can go over with everyone. But yeah, great job on this revision. And let's see this revision. That's great. Looks really good. Yeah, really nice with the arms and the hand poses. I think that works pretty well. One thing is that I think the head, and this is this character, is like that head is probably going a little bit too far back. Unfortunately, we want, like, I think it's good that you're pushing for extreme poses here. That's what I want to see in animation, but because that head is so off from the rest of the body, we don't want to lose the balance too much. So I think if you just like brought it back here to where like it's not going too far past over the feet themselves, it's actually just going a little bit like I'm saying that like this edge of the head right here, if that's going right here a little bit under before the feet end, that'll balance things out a little bit, and you'll still get that idea and that excitement. But yeah, this looks great. You hit those notes really well, even with my critique, the sound cutting out, and just you notice my drawing, and hopefully my explanation through email made sense. But yeah, this looks really good. So great job on that revision. Let's see your ball bounce now. Nice. Look at that. That'll look really good. Yeah, great job. Good arc. Really clean. Very clean animation. So great stuff. Yeah, I love seeing that. I love seeing that you put the effort into those revisions, and definitely did a good job addressing all you didn't have many issues, but the little issues that you did have with these, that you addressed them. And now they look great, and that's what animation is all about. So good job. Now let's look at your assignment. All right. heavy, light. Cool. Heavy ball looks good. I love your composition. I think what you're doing here, like my eye is focusing right here, and it's kind of staying here up until this ball gets to around here. So you're drawing the eye into a central point, which is a really nice thing to see. Definitely understanding that the heavy ball is heavy. Now, good arc here. Really clean. A lot of students doing this assignment will forget that even though it's a heavy ball, will forget that it creates an arc. And you're doing that here. So that's good to see. Now, good first bounce on that heavy ball. I feel like you could take it a little bit higher. Just what this does, and what I like about that heavy ball, when the first bounce is higher, and then you keep the second and third and fourth, whatever these other bounces, the same height, which is much lower, you give it contrast, and you show that, okay, there was a lot of energy that hit and went up, and that's something you'll see if like you throw a bowling ball on the ground. It actually bounces a lot higher than you expect it to. But that first bounce is like, okay, yeah, it goes up in the air, and it's basically the same timing. I mean, you're going to add a few more frames if you bring it higher, so watch that spacing. But if it's just a little bit higher, maybe around here, it'll contrast more with this bounce, and you don't change this bounce at all. These bounces at the end are really nice, and I want you to keep that. But again, it's going to show that contrast. It's like, boom, it goes up, it hits, and then it slows down. Now, the slowdown on this heavy ball is what I feel another thing that you can reinforce that this ball is heavy by having it stop that roll right around here. And that doesn't mean it completely stops. Like I like that you're getting a nice ease out of that movement, but I want to see it lose most of its energy by, where did I mark it? By right here. Like it can go a little bit past that, but I mean it should slow down pretty quickly and just go like that ease and then ease back, and that timing, that long drawn out timing for that stop is what's going to sell that weight as well. So there's those few little things that why I want those in there is it's going to give more contrast to the light ball, and it's going to show that this ball is really heavy. And that's the idea. When we have something heavy and something light, when we have something that we need to stay on one side and one thing that we need to stay on the other side, two opposite ends of the spectrum, we have to enhance each one a little bit more to get that across, or at least one of them more than the other, so the audiences understand that. You're doing a great job with that, but it's just a few more things that I feel like you could do to really reinforce that. And then the light ball is looking great. I think that it's pretty much perfect. So let's see. I feel like this, okay, so my only thing is like it feels like this arc is forced over a little bit. Let me play it again because no, it's okay. Like it almost feels like you're no, it's fine. Never mind. Never mind. I take that back. Just because it's one of those things that almost looks like you were bringing it back a little bit, but now that I see it frame by frame, it's definitely not the case. It's good spacing there. So, and then sometimes when this plays back, it's just the playback itself. It'll drop frames. So that's what I think what happened there. And then as it bounces off, I actually feel like it could go a bit higher. Like, again, this is one of those things that you can get it to maybe up here instead of down here. And that will again give it more of a light feel. And you know, the way it stops is good. It would be kind of cool to see it roll a little faster and bounce off the heavy ball a little bit more, with the heavy ball not moving at all. I feel like that would give it again a little bit more contrast. But the way it is now, it works. So if this changes a lot of stuff, I wouldn't go too far with it. If you find yourself spending too much time on it, because I feel like it works. If you just add those little things there, then you'll really sell the point across. So yeah, great job. Okay, that's it, Dominic. Let me know if you have any questions. Great work.